Thank you for being honest in your reflection of what you did well in your mini essay and some areas of improvement. Now, as sixth graders, we always know that writing can be improved upon. And one thing that is common among sixth graders is a nuts and bolts of writing can be very hard, so we need to work on ways that we can improve the actual sentence structure. So in section 13 of your interactive notebook, you have an area called improving your writing. And so I'm going to give you a shared goal for the whole class. And that is to create sentences of varied length and structure in order to keep the reader engaged in your writing. And so that's always a hard thing for sixth graders to be able to do because they're used to writing just their thoughts down, but not really thinking about varied length and creating sentences with different structure. So in section 13, I've given you some ideas of ways you can improve and vary your sentences. And vary means make them different from each other. So you can have short sentences and you can have long sentences. So there's one way to have a variety. Also, you can begin with a prepositional phrase. And so if you know the word preposition, it means like on, under, in, things like that. So describing around. So you can start with that. So let's say I was just talking about we were out on the playground or we were at recess. And so I might start with my sentence of, on the playground, the children laughed and played. So I'm giving more detail instead of just saying the children laughed and played. You can also combine two small sentences with a conjunction. So for example, we enjoyed visiting grandma, but it was time we went home. So I could have just said, we enjoyed visiting grandma, then we went home. So I combined them to make it a longer sentence with a conjunction. So that word but is a conjunction. Here's another one. We love to go hiking, and we also enjoy swimming. So I could have a shorter sentence that just said, we love to go hiking, and then another sentence, we also enjoy swimming, but instead I put a conjunction in here. So on the next page in section 13, I have included a bunch of commonly used conjunctions that can help you combine two short sentences to make them longer. So see if you can play with these as you're writing to see which ones make sense for you. Then you can also add details to your writing. So you can add adjectives, which mean are describing that noun. So we stood outside. So let's say we have a sentence that we started and it just says we stood outside. So we're going to add details. We stood outside for 20 miserable minutes. So now we know it's just not outside for 20 minutes, it was miserable. I can also add the when to the sentence. This morning we stood outside for 20 miserable minutes. And then I can also add the where. This morning, we stood on the sidewalk in front of the school for 20 miserable minutes. And the why. This morning, we stood on the sidewalk in front of the school for 20 miserable minutes while the fire chief investigated the cause of the fire alarm. So I also included a conjunction in there. So we have like while. So we can see that on this page as well. So by combining sentences, that's going to make your sentences stronger. Also, by adding a variety of different types of sentences makes it more interesting for your reader to read your writing.